All right, eventually I'll be showing you how to install this Bluetooth adapter in my 2002 Volvo V70XC. But as for today, I just got the package in the mail from China. Here's what I got. Ordered it on eBay. I'll provide some detail in the video links on the item number and who the vendor was. So what comes in the box? Half, 2 weeks. So what comes in the box is the actual Bluetooth unit itself, and it actually does two things. It'll do Bluetooth, but you can also plug in a 3.5mm jack if you'd prefer for higher quality audio. And basically what happens is you take this end, plug it into the back of your Volvo head unit into the CD changer port, and the trick then becomes finding a switched 12 volt wire in the harness to the radio, as well as a ground. The ground is the black, the yellow is the 12 volt. You can confirm that by popping open this box. And inside you'll see it's got a fuse. If you look very closely, you'll notice next to the yellow there's a little positive sign. Next to the black there's a ground sign. So if you want to confirm, that's how you do it. Well, let's have a look at what else is in the box. So there's a very basic instruction manual which gives you very limited support for installation. There's a button that you can plug in. This button is actually quite handy because one of the glitches with many of these devices is that if you answer the phone by pressing the button on your phone, the answer button, the hands-free will not come on. Whereas if you have this affixed somewhere and you press that to answer the phone, the overhead audio will kick in as long as you're in CD changer mode, of course. Then you've got a 3.5mm jack that comes with it. And what I forgot to put back in the box is, this did come with it as well. It's a microphone. You affix this to the top of your A-pillar and then route the wire down below right into the back of the unit itself. What I've discovered, by the way, is if you don't unplug the power to the radio, you won't get the ABS message. When you're messing with this thing, just be cautious not to scratch the shifter. All right, this is I got lucky in that the previous owner of the vehicle clearly had a third-party device that was plugged into the back of the radio. And I say this because this harness allows you to tap into the wires and then connect a new component in. And I was thinking that I might be able to just tap into a ground and a switched 12 volt from the harness that I don't know, from the end that I no longer need. That's not the case. Some fishing around with a continuity tester revealed that this is the connector that goes into the back of the radio. Each one of these, with the exception of the purple wire, is either a communications line or a continuous 12 volt, which is no good. I figured if I was going to connect a Bluetooth audio transmitter, it should turn off when the radio turns off. So the only one that allows you to do that is purple. And purple is located at the top left, second one in, just next to the red. I screwed up in this video and was calling out that you need to use blue and white on the bottom 3 in, and so some troubleshooting since then has indicated that you cannot use that feed. You must use purple, second one in from the top next to the red. There may be some references in the rest of the video to blue and white, to the blue and white wire. Just ignore them. Substitute with purple in all cases. Sorry about that. The brown on the very right is a ground. So I'm going to be tapping into the brown and the purple wire. How you do that is your business. I have had a lot of trouble with butt connectors. I know that's the easiest way to do this. What I am going to do instead, though, just so that I'm comfortable that it's been done well, is to cut the brown, cut the purple at some convenient point. Do a three-way splice with two new wires headed to the Bluetooth device, and then solder them and seal them up with some heat shrink. Solder the ground first. As I mentioned earlier, I discovered that the ground is the brown, and since there was a harness inserted, an aftermarket, this is an aftermarket harness, there was something plugged to the end of this previously. I don't need it, so I've snipped that off, and I know that this is also a ground. So, that's all I need. Length. So, in this case, I'm lucky. I'm able to take this right out of the car and do it. In most cases, you don't have this harness, and as a result, you're stuck cutting these wires or installing butt connectors to them while the harness is still in the vehicle. So, not as pleasant, but still very doable. Ready? There we go. That's good. Good. Oh, lovely. Don't do that. Okay, well, luckily I can just slip it on the other end. What you want to be doing is obviously putting these heat shrinks far enough away from the solder point so that they don't prematurely shrink. See if this will fit over top. Oh yeah, we're good. Good. Lovely. Just take a lighter to that. Good. The same steps apply up ahead, just don't cut the blue and white wire, obviously. Cut the purple wire instead and follow the instructions. Okay. Wire. I'm using 18 gauge. That's well done. So now, let's see if I can do that. That's pretty good. If you just hold it together. Not going anywhere. Okay. Good enough. I want to make sure I'm not doing is putting all the tension here. Looks like I might. Here we go. This plugs into the radio, this plugs into the harness. And we've got our black and red here. Oh, it's up. One of these is ground, one of these is power in. So let's have a look. Ground is the black. Great. Great. Good. This thing's ready. So you'll see this is the back of the radio. This is I don't know what this is, but next to it is the port for the CD changer. So the minute I plug that in, CD changer should be recognized. There we go. Goes in this way, which is kind of convenient, isn't it? Okay, so then the next step is to plug in the harness. In. And then there's another. You've got to find a match for that. Somewhere way back here. As I said, it's a lot easier to do this. There's the other bit of it that needs to come together, so once I twist the radio around I can plug that in. So I'll do that afterwards. My next job is to pull this A pillar off. There we go. Slide it in there. Sliding it all the way down to the bottom, and then I'm going to pass it in through here, through the back of the dash, and we should be all good. Got it in at the top. I'm gonna glue it right here maybe. I'm gonna glue it right here maybe. And I've tucked it in here. Comes out here. Comes out right here, and I'm just gonna tuck it in there, route it underneath the dash over to the glove compartment. Actually get it through without taking anything out, I think. So I've accessed it, I've pushed it through the OBD2 port, and I just routed it along over top of this light panel. Right there, and now I'm gonna have to see where I can get it up here. Forward and through, and you got it. Here it is. Now you've got this plugged. Put it into the mic, and then this hopefully gives you enough slack. You can slide this back in, put it into the glove compartment. I'm just pulling the two tabs out so I can lower the dash a little bit. And then hopefully I can reach my hand through here and pull that Bluetooth gizmo through. Just enough space for that to come through. So I got that. Bluetooth is in, radio's plugged in. Just need to plug this harness back in. See the harness quite clearly now. Those two green parts need to be plugged into each other. Harness is plugged. Check. Let's see the radio working clearly. Push all this back in. It's a mess of wiring back there. There's lots of room below, so you want to be pushing all of the devices lower down below the radio. As you put the radio back in, be sure that the cables go in the center and aren't squeezed by the two mounting points of the radio. One thing I neglected to do, and it was to attach the answer button. So my plan is to attach it right here. So it's just a matter of peeling the sticker off the back. And then fixing it like that. Looks good right there. Okay, and then that should allow you to tuck that wire in right here upon reinstallation. The wire itself loops all the way around the back. You tuck it into the back, and then of course you've got to connect it with the Bluetooth dongle on this side. And the port you want to plug it to is the one called remote. So I've routed it through the back. It's all set to go. This metal lip goes in, gets tucked in, and then the radio gets pushed back into place. There are 2 screws on the bottom. They're T25s. Maybe we should test. Uh-oh. All right, plugging this harness back in again. So, male bit goes in here. There we go. And we've got liftoff. Okay, so tucking the wires in behind, as I said earlier, there's lots of room below the radio, so just push stuff down. There's a metal ridge at the top. It needs to fit into the ridge on the dash paneling. There we go, like that. Make sure everything's free. Move around below. There are 2 T25 screws that you need to put in down here. Two. Never had problems with this before. There we go. So you do need to lift this bottom panel, lift and pull back so that this can rotate downwards and in. It is now where it should be. There we go. All right, so I'm testing this out. If this has worked, I should have a CD changer appearing as one of the options. And as you'll notice, CD changer is appearing. So that's good news. Next step is to try it out to make sure it works. Step 1 is to put it to CD changer mode. It's there. Step 2 is to search for the device. Some difficulties. Plug is pretty finicky, so I put it all back together and it didn't work. I would get CD error, like this. Anyway, I wouldn't get anything. CD error, there you get it. And if I plug this in snugly,
Bluetooth.
I get that friendly little message, which is what I'm after. Settings. Apps to car. Connected. Let's see if we can play some music here. Gosh. You don't hear it very loudly, but you hear it. Works.